Commission meeting to order. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. Alan, would you start us off?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Lynn, would you please call the roll?
Mr. Locke?
Here.
Mr. Zilli?
Here.
Mr. Echtel?
Here.
Mr. Munt? Mayor Lynch?
Here.
Dr. Finley?
We have the approval of the minutes from November the 18th.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Second.
We have a motion by Colin, second by Greg to approve the minutes. Is there any discussion? If not, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. We have the payment of claims.
Motion to approve. Second.
We have a motion and a second to pay the claims.
I
What were
have
the-
an additional amount, please. The payroll transfer was done as put forth by the salary ordinance to the tune, which pays for a portion of my salary, Sandy's, AJ's, Joe's, and then the park that they did this summer for the landscaping. So that encompasses all of this. So there's an additional $108,295.88, and that should take us through the end of December, as far as I know. So we're gonna add that to this docket, if that meets your approval.
Are there any questions? If not, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Do we need to re-amend that motion?
No, I think
Do we
your
have-
vote,
okay.
your vote takes in that.
Okay. We have staff reports.
Good afternoon, Madam Mayor, Commissioners. It's good to be with you this afternoon. Wanted to bring you up to speed on a couple projects. The City Hall project continues to proceed. The Board of Works at their last meeting approved the furniture contract, so acquisition of furniture is underway. We believe that we're probably going to run into some long lead times on some of those furniture items, but nonetheless, work progresses. Equipment being ordered progresses. On the construction side of things, things are going well. The contractor, Gary Construction, thinks that they are. We'll be starting flooring installation soon. But again, as I always ask, if you want to go take a look, please stop by. It is really starting to come together, and we're probably not all too far away from saying, oh, this is going to be a pretty cool space. With that said, there's the calisthenics associated with moving into phase 2. And we're beginning to coordinate with City Hall staff in terms of what the January will look like in terms of moving City Hall operations for a period of time so that we can allow the contractor a good amount of time to make it through demolition in phase 2 of the project, as well as the asbestos abatement required for the next phase of the project. The intention of the City Hall staff is to be relocated here at Woodland Park beginning January 3rd. Demolition at City Hall then will commence on that date with asbestos abatement to follow the weeks of January 10th and January 17th. It's some of our plan to then be back at City Hall in areas that are fully accessible to the public. Areas that are not accessible to the public, specifically the Department of Planning and Community Development, the Mayor's Office. We're going to need to work closely with the public, those coming to visit us, and we may need to be somewhere else. So I know the Mayor's talked about possibly using some of the finished space in the phase 1 areas of the project. And our department, if we can make our way upstairs and conduct our work day upstairs, we will. If the construction activity in that phase 2 in the lobby area of City Hall allows. If not, we're a pretty flexible group. We've had some experiences, you guys know, over the years, so we believe we'll be okay. So that's sort of the update on City Hall. Again, if you want to see what's going on, I'd really encourage you to stop by. It's a pretty exciting time, and soon enough we'll be there at City Hall conducting our business. The Founders Square and Plaza project continue. There's a little bit more concrete work ahead as it relates to those two projects. If you find a nice day and you can get out there, I'd really encourage you again to do that. Just let the contractor on site know who you are, so you're just not buffaloing your way into the job site. But it is coming together quite nicely, and I think if you have a design eye, you're really going to see what that physical space is going to look like when we come vertical with the light poles, the landscaping, new trees. It is really come together, and again, like I said, I really encourage you guys to stop. It's going to be a heck of a space for the community. Our challenge is now to really program that space and really let it be enjoyed by our residents as well as visitors to the community. The Marquette Greenway Trail, last month I reported that Northwest Indiana was successful in receiving the RAISE grant through the federal government. Last Tuesday, Northwest Indiana received word that the READY grant, an additional grant of $52 million, was awarded to Northwest Indiana for economic development projects across this Northwest Indiana. Included in that grant award from the state of Indiana was an additional $5 million for the development of the Marquette Greenway Trail, which is perfect because I believe that was the shortcoming or delta in the federal application. So wonderful news. I don't have more to report at this time. We are expecting a meeting later this month to talk about next steps, and then at that point, after that meeting, I'll be able to give a little better report to the commissioners as to what's going on and what's next. The Marquette Greenway Trail, the National Park segment over Salt Creek, is progressing. Sandy and I had a meeting with Glenn Peterson from SEH, our project engineer, and we are well on our way. Later in today's agenda, I'm going to be seeking your authorization on a couple things, or one thing related to that. I reported last month that we would be starting work in the first quarter of 22, and we're still on track for that. So great report. The RFP for Development Parcel C is out. We had a pre-proposal meeting earlier this week in this room. We did have some developer interest. I think the meeting went well, some good questions, and we'll continue to answer questions of those interested and are looking forward to receiving some proposals. Former Gilbert gas station, we continue to work with Ymca. We plan to advertise in January, award bids, have a bid opening in February, and award bids there soon after with demo late first quarter, early second quarter of 2022. Central Avenue project, the Central Avenue West project continues, and I'll also be seeking some authorizations from you later in the meeting to move that project forward. A couple last things, Mayor. I know we have it under old business, but I know a couple days ago I sent correspondence to the commissioners related to the Ymca project. I did request there that matter be tabled, and so those conversations are continuing with the Y, and hopefully over the course of the holiday season we have the chance to get together and talk and see what the next steps are for that project. And then I also sent information related to the proposed 2022 working budget of the Redevelopment Commission. And as I said earlier, at least in that correspondence, that I'm hoping to have a chance to sit down in one-on-one or in small groups. Mayor and I have had that chance and opportunity already, hoping that we can expand the conversation to all of you as we prepare that. In talking with Lynn earlier today, I think we're feeling pretty good about the cash reserves in both funds. I believe our tracking related to the cash reserves of the general fund are right on, especially with the request of the city for the salary reimbursement and that transfer. That what was presented in that email is pretty spot on in terms of the carryover balance of the allocation area. I do believe it's going to be a little bit higher as we head into 2022 because some of the projects didn't hit or didn't submit invoices for this month. So I believe that we're probably going to see the rollover in the allocation area be a little bit higher. But again, some of that is because the money that was spoken for and budgeted in 2022 hasn't been expended at this point. We talked a little bit about cash reserves and how to maybe behave as we go forward. I don't think any of us want to find for ourselves or for our community and this commission going forward. The cash position we found ourselves at the beginning of 2022, and I think that we as a commission are going to be able to talk through about how better to approach our financial position as we go forward. I talked a lot about projects that we have coming up, some of which are those rollover projects that were funded in 2021, and some of the projects that we have to look forward to in 2022. So again, many of which we've talked about in the past. So I'm looking forward to being able to spend some time with you between now and the next meeting, as Lynn and I can work to put together that 2022 working budget for your review and consideration next month. Mayor, Commissioners, I'll pause at this time and ask if you have any questions.
EJ, on the carryover, did that include the Rescue Act covering Pounder Square and the Plaza?
It does. So yes, it does. Yes, it does.
Thank you.
Yep.
I just want to say thank you, AJ, because I know you came in here with such a shortfall, and I feel like we've done amazing things. And actually, our first year, we barely functioned. And so we've really been coming together as a commission this year. And I mean, I think that you've really held the line. We have stayed very focused as a commission, and I'm proud of this group, and I'm even more proud of you, AJ, because you've done a great job for us.
Well, I appreciate that, and you're spot on that it took all of us working together. And I think now we're in a position to talk about some of those next kind of conversations, cash reserves, cash balances, so that we are in a good position to maybe take advantage of an opportunity we don't see today, or find ourselves with some cover when times get tougher.
Or when things like Little League come up, we have the ability to do them without having to figure it out on the back end.
Absolutely, absolutely. So we have a bunch of wonderful projects as we head into next year. Some of the projects that we'll further articulate, hopefully have the chance to discuss with you over the course of the next month, are really projects that you as the commission talked about when we met with our engineering consulting firm HWC. It was clear then, and it's clear to staff now, that downtown continues to be very important to the members of the Redevelopment Commission, and it is a close second, or a 1A, is our continued focus and reinvestment in the north side. So as we make our way through this, I think you'll see that we were attentive to those requests and suggestions, and we'll have a series of projects that I believe you'll be happy with. So again, thanks, and I guess back to, there might be other questions. Okay. Okay. All right.
No, but I don't think,
Thank
you probably should just stay right there. When we get to old business, we do have the YMCA presentation, which is, we're going to motion to table.
Yes, Madam Mayor, I'd ask the commission to consider tabling this matter. Let's please allow the conversation to continue, and I think we'll be back at a later date to talk.
I'll make a motion to table.
We have a motion and a second to table the YMCA presentation. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. We have the demolition of Irving Street parking lot.
Yes, Madam Mayor, Commissioners, the Department of Planning and Community Development would make the recommendation that the Commission reject the bids that were submitted after ongoing conversations related to the potential Portage Library project in cooperation with Porter County Library System. There's a strong likelihood that we can take advantage of a portion of that parking lot in that idea, in that project. So it didn't seem prudent at this time to move forward. I believe the bids were good. However, there is an investment there that we believe can be taken advantage of with that project.
I'll make a motion to reject the bids.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to deny or reject the Irving Street parking lot bids. Is there any further discussion? If not, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. New business, we have the HWC Engineering 2022 contract.
Yes, it would have been this year. We made the decision to move forward with HWC as consulting engineers to the Redevelopment Commission. I believe, and because I haven't heard otherwise, that we're satisfied with their work. I know on our side as the department, we are happy with what they've delivered as services to date. This would allow us to continue with HWC in 2022, again taking the same approach that they are on call, that we issue tasks when we determine that this is a project that we would like to move forward with. I believe Attorney Whitten that this is in similar form as previously, and
Yes.
and it would at least be my department, without being able to speak for Attorney Whitten, that we would like to ask the commission to approve a contract for engineering services with HWC pending legal review.
And this is a lump sum, right?
It is a lump sum not to exceed, or I think it says lump sum or not to exceed.
Right.
So it is a not to exceed amount.
Oh, I see. Okay, got
Yes,
it,
sir.
got it, got it. Well, I'll make a motion to approve subject to legal review.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve the HWC engineering contract for 2022 based on legal approval. Is there any further discussion? If not, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
We have the Holiday Properties Snowplowing contract.
Yes, this was a discussion we had last year. We at first made a decision to seek the assistance of General Services in delivering this service to the property at 6100 Southport Road, and that didn't go well. We then subsequently went back and entered a contract with Holiday Properties to provide that service. I didn't want to go back to that well again, so I wanted to present for the Commission's consideration today, in advance of the snow flying, a contract for snow plowing services with Holiday Properties, and this is specific to the property 6100 Southport Road, or the former Ymca property.
I'll make a motion to approve. And did you review this, or do I need to make this subject to your review?
I did review it.
All right, I'll make a motion to approve.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve the Holiday Snowplow contract.
And this is just for Southport Road, right?
Yes, sir.
And I think we did try that last year to do it ourselves, but when we got 14 inches of snow,
It just doesn't
that
work.
clearly doesn't work for us. So, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Milestone Contractors Robbins Extension Change Order 5.
Yes, this is a change order for the Robbins Road Extension Project. It's a add change in the amount of $19.20 and 24 cents. We believe it to be in order. Sandy?
AJ, what was this?
It's good. It's good, and it would be the department's recommendation to approve the change order.
What exactly was it for?
It is for an increase in quantity item number 21, which is HMA for the approaches. So it'd be
okay,
asphalt. Yes, sir.
Will that close the project out then, or is there still more?
No, pardon, we can't close the project out because we have a street light that's going in towards the cul-de-sac. And, the subcontractor is having a hard time getting hold of the pole. It's somewhere overseas and they haven't gotten it yet. And they're trying to find somebody that a different supplier, and it's not having any luck. So at this point, we're sort of hesitating.
Sure. Okay. Make a motion to approve?
Second?
We have motion and a second to approve the Robbins Road Extension Change Order number 5. Is there any further questions? If not, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Is there any other business to come before this board?
There is 3 things. The first is just we've formally agreed that, if the department needs to go out and seek bids, we would do that. However, I thought it was just important to bring it to your attention today. I stand up here and I tell you that we're on schedule, this, that, and the other. But I just did want to reiterate what I mentioned earlier in the staff comments, that we will be seeking bids for tree clearing related to the Marquette Greenway Trail project. And it is our expectation, Sandy, I believe, that we would be advertising in January, or advertising sooner,
We're advertising
opening in
for
January.
street clearing in January,
And opening in January.
and that it is our hope
Yeah.
in January that it's getting going.
Yeah, so we will be advertising, and we're going to be advertising this as a bid, because it could be more than 150. So we'll be advertising in January, hoping to open bids if we receive responses at the January 27th Redevelopment Commission meeting. That's number one. Number two is tree clearing. We're going to seek a quote here for tree clearing on the Central Avenue West project. That is a project that is set for bid lead in February?
Yes.
March of 2022. The engineers on the project have approached the city and the county about moving ahead with the tree clearing part of this project so that the utilities can get in and we can keep that work going. The Porter County has agreed to pay their portion of the tree clearing project. So we will need to work with Porter County. Bob Thompson is Director of Stormwater and Planning in that department. And he has agreed that he would reimburse that part of the contract for tree clearing. However, it's our project to run, so we will be seeking quotes in this case for tree clearing of the Central Avenue West project. So for you and for those watching, it's the part of the project that's really near Willow Creek that will be, for the most part, need to be cleared for utilities, and then ultimately leading into the construction of the bridge, the new bridge over Willow Creek. The third thing is, it's always tough, as you all know. This is Lynn's last meeting, and Lynn's been a tremendous just resource to this commission for a long time. I can speak for myself, absolutely, but in talking with Sandy and folks in our department and the folks that Lynn's worked with in the past as staff to this commission and commissioners, we've been lucky. And you're really going to be missed. I sincerely mean that. And, Lynn and I have had the chance to work together over the years in a lot of different capacities. But having her there as a resource and knowing what she was doing for this commission, for the city of Portage, is, like I said, is going to be missed. So I just wanted to take a minute to thank Lynn for everything that you've done for us over the years. I know we'll make it, but it's going to be tough. And I believe that there's going to be a recognition coming up. So, it's going to be a special day. So I'm really looking forward to that. And we'll be able to share some old war stories and hug and cry it out a little bit or whatever. But again, I just wanted to take a minute or two today to thank you for myself, for our department, and probably for a lot of staff folks over the years that aren't here. You've been great.
Thank you. It's been a pleasure.
All of it? Has it all been a pleasure, Lynn?
No.
Overall.
Overall.
On average.
Sometimes frustrating, but I'm proud of the work that this commission does. Sometimes more so than what happens with the other boards and the other, because we truly do some big things and they're noticeable things, and You guys should be proud of what you do. It's a good job. Thank you.
Well, they always say no one's irreplaceable, but
That's
I
true.
totally disagree in this case. Because you are gonna be hugely missed, Lynn. All of our stuff is in order every time we come to a meeting. It's ready a week before. We never have to call you and say, I didn't get this, I didn't get that. I mean, it's huge. Because
Done it
you've
for 30
always had us prepared for our meetings.
I've done it for 34 years. It's become kind of a habit. But thank you.
But we truly appreciate you, and we're gonna miss you very, very much.
I, for one, think Lynn's gonna change her mind and stay on.
I think we should move the January meeting to the 20th, just so Lynn has one more.
Well, that would be to the pleasure of the board.
Minus the pleasure of the recording secretary.
She'll be on a vacation day that day.
Yeah. Thank you, guys. I appreciate it.
No, thank you, Lynn.
And thank you. And Mayor, that's
Great job.
what I have today.
AJ, did you
Yes,
need
sir.
any authorization for the bids?
I don't, I mean, I wanted to, we've talked in the past that, you know, you've given that authority to the department. I just thought that those were two things that we needed to highlight. Because, you know, like I said, I stand up here and I say we're on schedule, but, you know, this is like that next level of evidence. We're on schedule. So, now we got to get a bidder, right?
Write it down.
Well, now we have to get a bidder. I'm still not holding it out until there's an envelope up there, right?
Yeah. So is there any other business to come before this commission? If not, I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
Everybody have a
again.
great Christmas.
Thank you, you too.